Hello, welcome back to the Healthy Body Podcast. It is Brianna Wilkerson. I am your host, and today we're going to do something a little bit different on the podcast. We're going to kind of start a series for the month of December 2018, doing some highlights. Because up until this point, I have about 68 regular episodes, and then maybe 17 or 18 essential oil bonus features. And I really kind of wanted to say, okay, that was season one. That was season one of the podcast. And I think there were just very important things that happened in my business, in my life, that reflected itself in the podcast. And then kind of what you can expect a little bit in season two. So that's why this one is a little bit called What Happened and What's to Come, like what happened and what's next. And so kind of how the next few podcasts are going to go. Today, I'm just going to really talk about what happened, what's next, and then mention a few key podcast episodes that really captured, what happened in my business, in my life, in the podcast. And then I'm going to kind of summarize each week from here on out the different episodes that represented different things. And so I would say the three main areas that I support women in right now is having a healthy body, having a healthy life, and essential oils. And so the next three we'll focus on one of those at a time. We'll focus on the different episodes that really encompassed having a healthy body. Then we'll focus on healthy life and then essential oils. And then what I'll do is just share a little bit of thoughts around why those things are so important, share and remind you of the episodes that have happened in season one, and then what you can expect a little bit in those three areas in the year to come in season two, which starts January 1 or 2. Whatever the first Tuesday in January. So from now on, I'm going to really try to get the podcast episodes out to you every Tuesday, so you can be sure to tune in and listen and share then. And so why did I start this podcast? So originally this podcast was the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast. And Made Well, my business, is really about seeing women in particular be healthy and thrive in all areas of their life. When I started my business, I felt like that was the overall vision and mission statement, to see women not just have a healthy body, but have a healthy life. And that really was holistic in nature, because that was my journey and my experience. And so if you listen to episode 1 that talks about my story, about Made Well and the podcast, and then even episode 2, which talks about what does it actually mean to be healthy and thrive, you'll really kind of get the foundation of what my business really represents and who I am and my story. And, my story, I'm not going to go into it too much because I really want you to listen to that episode, but it really is just about someone probably similar to you and similar to someone you've met that struggled to know their worth, struggled to love themselves, and that showed up in how I treated my body and didn't treat my body. It showed up in the disordered way of eating that I had, not eating and eating too much, in the disordered way of exercising, and in the disordered way of just doing life. And it really was when I really understood my faith and my worth in God and in Jesus that things shifted slowly but surely. And then eventually I really felt God saying, do you want to be made well? Which is based off of John 5:5. And I said, yes, I want to be made well holistically. And so I went on that journey, found a lot of freedom, found a lot of joy. And I knew at different points in time that I was called to do the same thing with other women. And so episode 1 would really talk about that. But then, be healthy and thrive in all areas of your life. I really came up with what I would call 7 pillars of health. Your physical, your mental, emotional, your spiritual, your financial, your relational, and vocational. Vocational meaning the work you're called to do and kind of in this world. And for a while, I really would say I was holistic, and I still am, because I do say I'm a holistic health and life coach, but I really tried to focus on those different areas and leading women through that as I was growing in those areas as well. But what I quickly found is that really, and this kind of encompasses and points to episode 56 that talked about the change of the name and the change of my business around having a healthy body, is that I really recognize for me where I actually started and where many of my clients start is that area of physical health, is learning the foundational thing of what it means to care for our bodies. This beautiful thing that we've been given that we tend to treat poorly at different points in time because of lack of sleep, because of stress, because of lack of exercise, all these different reasons. But when you take the time to care for your physical being, it will impact every other aspect of your life. It will impact your relationships, either positively or negatively, if you don't or don't take care of it, your finances, all these things. And so I recognized that in order to really lead women well, I had to lead them first in having a healthy body that they loved and are proud of. And so I switched. I keep still doing what I'm doing, but my focus, the messaging, is around really helping women overcome yo-yo dieting so that they can have a healthy body that they love and are proud of in a way that is honoring, so that they can honor themselves and honor their bodies. And so, from then on, the podcast really focused around those different things and the 7 pillars of a healthy body, which we'll talk about more in the next episode around just healthy body episodes from the season 1. But episode 3 talks about that, the 7 pillars of a healthy body. And it even has like a small course around the healthy body, called the Healthy Body Challenge, that you could do around those areas of nutrition, stress management, exercise, sleep, digestion, toxic load, mindset, and habits. And in the same way, our body has all these different systems and functions that work together. Habits in those 7 areas will impact one another and will impact your whole body and your health, right? And so then, I mentioned different points in the podcast and everything that I'm doing that, I'm actually moving from doing my business full time to on the side, because I'm going to be taking a director executive role with a not-for-profit or a church in Tampa, Florida. And I wanted to still continue the work of Madewell, but I couldn't have the time to continue one-on-one coaching as much. So I created and launched the Healthy Body Academy, which combined the different things that I've done in these last 3 years with Madewell, that I've seen transformational change among women and their health. So it has trainings and master classes, because I really am about empowering and educating and encouraging. And so education has been a shifting thing for me to actually learn the truth about how food impacts your body, about how exercise impacts your body, and all those 7 areas. And I felt like they were secrets that no one was really talking about, at least the mainstream health, avenue. So I wanted to teach people about it. And I think that's it. When you're more informed and you're empowered, you can make better decisions. So I have a masterclass and training with a workbook. Then I also have a live Q&A session, because you're going to have questions from that. How to implement it? How do you, for you uniquely as a person? And that will, every member in the group has access to that. And then live gratitude and intention sessions, where we can reflect and we just express gratitude for what's happened in our health in our life, and then set goals and intentions. The ladies also have access to my archive of training of resources, an accountability partner, a members directory where you can get to know the members, and a private Facebook group. And each month we'll go through a particular topic and focus on one of these areas of a healthy body and really support one another in that. And so at the time of this launching of this podcast, it's month 1 really of the Healthy Body Academy. We have some women in there and I'm super excited. But as opposed to, there's different ways. If you ever seen membership communities, there's a way where you can only enroll at a certain time or join at a certain time, or you can join whenever. And I've chosen to make this where you can join at whatever point, because I wanted women, if you caught wind of this and you're listening to this now, it's like I wanted you to be able to get the support you need. And so if you're interested in that, that is the main way that I serve women in the coaching environment right now. So if you go to madewell345.com/healthybodyacademy, again, madewell345.com/healthybodyacademy, you'll get all the details and you can join us now. The regular price is $47 a month, or $470 a year, where you get 2 free months because of the pricing. But you don't have to do the yearly one. I'm more of a monthly person myself. And what I told the ladies is, give it a few months. You're not going to see change in 1 month, because I'm intentionally doing one habit, one thing at a time. But if at any point you have to leave, or you feel like, it's not for you, you can. If you pay for that month and you finish that month, and then, that so forth. So check out the Healthy Body Academy. So that is a little bit about where the podcast has come. And I just love interviewing women and having discussions with other women in the field, or who have just so much to share that I love this. And, the podcast started out just wanting to originally be a video show, that I just kept loving these conversations with other health and wellness coaches and wanted other people to listen in. Then I saw that podcast could be just a good avenue. People could listen while they're doing other things. And so I've had so much fun. I've learned a lot, and I hope you have too if you've journeyed with me. And so in the new year, just to give you a little bit of sneak peek, I really want to make my podcast the main form of content that I really put out there and give a lot of thought to it. So I've actually already recorded quite a bit of episodes to really support you with people that I am super excited about that you can listen to that literally are experts in their area, right? So kind of in the new year, the format that I'm hoping to do, at least for the first 6 months, is I'm going to tend to do a solo episode to kick us off in the year to say like, hey, this is the overall theme, what I'm going for. I'll talk a little bit more about the Academy and what we're doing there if you feel like joining. And then how you can get support too in my free community, the Healthy Body Community for Women. But then I will have 2 guests at different topics relating to whatever the theme of the month is. And then I'm going to make sure to try to do a bonus essential oil feature kind of once a month at the end of the month. So it's going to be a solo episode, 2 interview episodes, and then 1 again with me with essential oils. So that's kind of my plan for at least the first 6 months. So you can kind of know what to expect each week, I guess. And if it changes up, but that's kind of the goal. And again, we are going to focus mainly on these 7 different areas of a healthy body, but there will be a month or 2, maybe we're focusing on the other areas of a healthy life. And then, of course, we have essential oils throughout. So what's next? If you're listening to this, so in this highlights, there's a couple actions that I really want you to take. One is a podcast survey. So I want to hear from my listeners. I want to hear how different things have impacted you. I want to hear what you liked, what you would like to see. So I created a little survey. It's about 10 questions long, super easy. If you go to madewell345.com/ I think it's podcast survey 2018 or 2018 podcast survey. I forgot what I ended up putting it as. It's one of those. Just make sure you click the link in the show notes for this episode so you can get it. And so whoever fills out that podcast survey from the 1st of December to the 31st will enter into win a $25 gift card from Amazon. Just because I really want to thank you for filling out the survey. So one person will win that. So fill out the podcast survey and you can just tell me what you've thought, what you would like to see, what's benefited you, and where you can go from here. Second thing is one of the questions I think there, or if not, I think one of the questions on the survey is if you would like to join my free resource library, the Healthy Body Free Resource Library, which also has access to the Healthy Body Community, which is my free coaching group, and the Madewell doTERRA Essential Oil Community, which is my free oils group. Because that's where you can really unpack the episodes as well as just learn other things, find community with other women and get some tips, right? So that's the second thing is if you go to madewell345.com/free-resources, you can sign up for my free resource library and you'll be on my mailing list. You'll know when all the podcasts are coming out, anything special is happening. So fill out the podcast survey as well as sign up for the free resource library and join the free communities on Facebook as well. And then the last thing is if you want to get started with essential oils or you want more support in the new year, or even in the holidays right now, but in the new year, in areas of those 7 areas of a healthy body, go check out the Academy, join us, as well as book an essential oils consultation with me or email me saying, hey, I'm interested. We can figure out a time. And so I have links to all of that. So all of, how to join the Academy, how to get an essential oils consultation, the free resource library, and the podcast survey. I have links to all of that in the show notes. I'm going to link the blog post, and in the show notes there, you can go click it, and then you'll have access to all 4 of those things. I know you typically ask people to do one call to action, but I'm over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to try to really get you connected so that in the new year specifically, you can get the support you need. And then, of course, go listen to those episodes I mentioned. I think there's a lot of great content on the podcast. So that's why I want to highlight it. So episode 1, again, was my story of Madewell, my own journey and the podcast. Episode 2 was what does it mean to be healthy and thrive. Episode 3 was 7 pillars of a healthy body. Episode 56 was the shift from just focusing on everything to healthy body. And then episode 68 was, more about the Healthy Body Academy and why it's such a great thing to join. And then what I'm going to do, again, as a recap over the next 3 episodes, is recap some more of the episodes. So again, go to the blog post that has the link to the podcast survey, has the link to my free resource library, has the link to the academy, and also has the link to book an oils consultation with me to apply to do that, so we can figure out a time that we can just talk through what oils are best for you. All right, thanks so much again for being an avid listener. Please rate, review, subscribe to the podcast on whatever handle you're listening to it on, and share it. I would love for this to get out to more women, to really support them, especially as the new year comes around, and so they can get a healthy body they love, they're proud of, in a way that's honoring, right? So thanks so much, and I will see you on the next episode.